Good day to all of you. And today I will be doing an overview of Keats, uh, where I would focus a little bit about his life and about his romanticism, the themes, the imagery, a little bit about his odes. So, as I told you initially, when we started with uh, Keats, that he had lived a very short life, that is only of 25 years and 4 months to be exact. That is from 1795 to 1821. Although it was a very short life, yet his poetic achievement was extraordinary. His writing career lasted a little more than 5 years, that is, from 1814 to 1820. And some of his great odes, like the Ode to a Nightingale, Grecian Urn, Melancholy, were written in just 1 month. Most of his major poems were written between his 23rd and 24th years, and all his poems were written by his 25th year. And in this very brief period, he produced poems that ranked him as one of the greatest English poets. His genius was not perceived during his lifetime or even immediately after his death. Keats himself had expected, or rather not expected, his poetry to be of lasting value, because the epitaph that he wrote for his tombstone said, I quote, "Here lies one whose name was writ in water." Maybe he was being very modest because he was convinced of the potential and the talent that he had, but this epitaph indicates that he did not feel that he would make a mark for himself in the poetic world. But the 19th century critics and readers did come to appreciate him, but they had a very partial understanding of his work. Now, why they had a partial understanding of his work was because they focused on Keats, or they saw Keats just as a sensual poet, and they focused more on his vivid, concrete imagery, more on his portrayal of the physical and the passionate. Uh, one 19th century critic went so far as to assert that Keats had a mind which was constitutionally inapt for abstract thinking, or rather, that he had no mind, because Keats was often quoted for a very famous quote of his, which goes like this: "Oh, for a life of sensation rather than of thought." And this is why most of the critics supported this view. and considered him more as a sensual poet. But with the 20th century, the perception of Keats' poetry expanded. He was and is praised for his seriousness and thoughtfulness, for his dealing with difficult human conflicts and artistic issues, and also for his impassioned mental pursuit of truth. Keats advocated living the ripest, fullest experience that one is capable of. He believed that what determines truth is experience. The publication of Keats's letters, with their keen intellectual questioning and concern with moral and artistic problems, contributed to this reassessment of Keats. We'll focus on the other aspects in my next lecture.